So, last session, Nightmare traveled to the continent of Day Cabal after talking to Tenpenny's family.
No.
There, you arrived at the city of Guanistan, your ally and companion, Jet Neptune, teleporting away himself, leaving all of you on your own. You went to the docks, were forced into buying paperwork for your folding boat, and you set sail. Learning the ropes, you had a very interesting time at sea, but the journey was short. You all got incredibly drunk on some free rum dropped by a giant bird, and then you found the ruins of Bana. You now fly above the ruined city of Bana. The green light spreads over the entirety of your vision. The horizon is sickly and grotesque. You see thousands, millions of undead roaming the streets. Some larger, some smaller. But all of them are there. The city of Bana is built into the side of the Inta mountain range. Technically, it's also built in a small peninsula. You can see evidence of where the city had many of their docks in outer farmlands to kind of support the city in case of any land-based siege. A tall line of walls separates the mountain channel from the small peninsula that Bana sits upon. Off in the distance, you can see two great towers flanking this entrance. The walls are decrepit and crumbling, but you can barely spot small beacons of light. These, you must presume, are the guardians of the ruins here, attempting to keep the undead from traversing into the plains just south of Bana. This festering city has been cut off from all support. There is no light, natural or otherwise, within the city of Bana. And in the green haze, it's hard to see a place where this society, which you know lives here, could be. There are many grand structures, ancient temples and amphitheaters, but almost all of which have fallen in upon themselves. One structure that seems relatively intact seems to be the Grand Keep of the Empire of Bana. It is built directly into the cliffside of the Inta mountain range. There you see an outer gate with large protruding walls and almost wooden barricades and spikes adorning the walls pointed downward. It seems like a very secure place. That's where you all find yourselves, is flying and seeing this sight.
Bet. I'm gonna begin. I guess I'll begin descent down. And look for like somewhere on the city streets that like do not look like too filled with the undead.
Okay, go ahead and make me a investigation check.
Investigation check. Would I have advantage due to the fact that I'm high up?
Sure, yeah, I'll give you that. Investigation perception. You can choose either or.
We'll do investigation. 22.
22. There is a spot, probably about 8 blocks from this keep. You do spot what looks to be a small temple of some sort. And by small, I mean relative to the temples of Kalos. It's fairly sizable, but you can see a once great stained glass roof has fallen in, and while there is a good amount of undead around the space, you don't see any on the inside. Flying close, you land on top and take a peering inside. The doors are barricaded from the inside, and there doesn't seem to be any semblance of undead within here.
Alright. I would use the message earring to send a message to the other guys and say this might be somewhat of a safe spot due to the fact that I'm assuming since it's holy ground, the undead are probably naturally like more warded against it.
Where are we? Are we by the boat? Are we in the sky?
You were in the sky. You were flying
You
around.
guys are flying.
Yep, that's how you guys decided to get to the city. You kind of flew over it a little bit, and we're basically looking down from above.
Right. I guess we'll start to come down then.
I am going to begin trying to make my way through the city. I want to see if the undead seem to notice me or really care about me.
We'll stay behind. Since they're undead, they might not care. We'll just stay to the mountains.
Okay. So you you try to exit the building.
Yeah.
Okay. So you take a step out into the city streets. Are you trying to be stealthy a little bit?
Yeah. I'm still gonna move through stealthy.
Yeah. Make a stealth check.
Alright. Stealth check. Nat 1. I got an 11.
Okay.
No.
Wow,
You-
what bad.
Yeah. You pull open the door and you turn and begin to close the front door of this large church. There's a couple undead somewhat near you. They're just down the street, maybe by like 100 feet away. You can just see some like wandering zombies. You see one is literally like in a video game, he'd be the one that's glitched out. He's literally just walking into a wall. They don't seem to have noticed you, and you shut the door. You suddenly hear it, and you turn behind you, and you realize that this city is ancient, beyond belief. The ruins of Bana, well, Bana became ruins close to over 700 years ago. And thus, this door was only being, the only reason it was standing was because it was already closed whenever this event happened. You opened it successfully. However, you close it unsuccessfully, and the massive, like 14-foot tall door falls inward and slams into the ground. You just hear this massive boom! Dust and glass go sprinkling across the room. The rest of your party, who is currently inside this temple and church, all look back at you as you now stand in an empty doorway.
You might want to take to the skies.
I'm staying with you.
Do the undead seem to care about me? I want to drop my visage like a human and look like I'm a vampire, like an undead.
You turn to face them, and they are all running after you.
At me? Or just...
They are feral, wild, and they are looking towards you. You're the first person they see.
Party back here.
Alright. Oh, well then I'm just going to pull back out my bat and fly away.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an athletics check. Or acrobatics.
Athletics or acrobatics?
Because you took some time... Okay.
15.
Okay. You took some time to see if these undead noticed you. And as you turn to run, you sprint down the broken path. You watch as your party gets on their mounts and immediately takes off through the broken ceiling of this temple and church. As you go running, you feel a heavy arm grab onto you, and you turn, and you are now being grappled. You see this entity has somehow was probably closer than you would have expected. It's an entity that you didn't see. It doesn't look like a normal zombie. It has long, grayed, wrinkled skin. Its mouth is pulled open. It's a foot long. It's extended its entirety of the head. You can see its almost spinal column arches up in almost like this massive, elongated humpback. They have a large, just shredded gray hood over them, and their eyes gaze into yours. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Con save. Damn. I should have lost either. Not one.
Okay,
A 10.
Toto, you turn.
Bad rolls right now today.
Toto, so you're flying your mount, correct?
Well, I said I was going to stay with him. I wasn't leaving until he does.
Okay, so you're still in the place, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you watch this entity literally sprints right up next to Drakova, grabs him by the shoulder, looks him in the eyes, and you watch Drakova fall unconscious at 0 hit points.
All right.
Oh.
Are we separated by a gate or something? I remember something like...
It is a
No.
open church.
Okay, so I can just run up to him?
You can.
You said he fell to 0 hit points.
Yep, he fell to 0 hit points. He is...
You have 1 hit point.
Nope.
I have 1 hit.
Okay, I'm going to use...
Are you immune to the
do
frightened condition?
Wait,
Actually, are you immune to the frightened condition?
Jake's.
Me?
No, Drakova.
I don't think I'm immune to the frightened condition. I will say, the thing Jake is talking about is like the book thing, where
Yeah. When
Well, if that's the
I
case-
wrote his name in my book, he comes back at 1 hit point if he goes to 0 if I choose. If I were to notice that, then I would have probably, used it.
Okay, I'll allow that. Yeah, you
I
go.
mean, this
um,
ability has been
yeah,
for very long.
you feel this entity give you a death gaze, and immediately you almost die just by looking into its eyes. You just feel your entire life force just fade away in a moment, and you're only kept up by your companion Johannes.
Nice.
All right. I can see him though.
Fuck out of there.
Yeah,
How far away is he?
he's probably about 60 feet away.
All right. I'm gonna use my action to do the anchor, and then my bonus action I'm gonna do the transposition so that he can be next to me. So Toto puts a small flame circle on the ground right next to him, and then claps. And Drakova is gonna go where he was, and he's gonna go to where that flame was.
Okay. That's where he goes.
All right, everybody on the mounts, let's get out of here.
Yeah, Drakova, you quickly ascend your mount, and all of you take off. You watch this entity just stares up, and as you get, far enough away, it can't really chase after you. And you watch this horde of undead just burst into this temple with this entity, and they all just stare up at you. This entity just silently watching as all of the undead make these eerie groaning sounds. You just hear.
All right, I'm gonna do. Let me RP. Barely made it out of there. I'm gonna
It
touch my
appears
eyes,
They do care about me still.
and I'm gonna get a small flame in my eyes, kind of like an amber hue to them, kind of more like infernal eyes. I'm gonna use keen senses, and I'm gonna look for a safe place for us to land somewhere else.
Okay. Make an investigation check with advantage.
Perception?
Sure. Perception
Okay.
works as well.
17. My investigation is actually better, but I only have advantage on perception.
Very good. Yeah, you find nearby, you find another, this one is more like a, it's like a ruined wizard tower, essentially.
Oh, fuck.
There's a massive gaping hole in the back side of it, facing towards the ocean.
That's so hot.
And you land your mounts on the inside into this massive, what probably at one point was an observatory. You can see the metal, like, giant spyglass has just been shattered into millions of pieces. You guess that there was a massive explosion that happened in this room, and that's probably why the hole is so massive for your mounts to enter.
As we head in, I'm gonna give Pretzel a nice pat on the head and put him in the pocket. I'm gonna walk up to Jakova, grab him by the shoulder, give him a nice nod on the head as I do Men Moons for 7 side points.
Gracias.
So, what are we looking for in the city, my friend? You feel a warm flame envelop your body.
To my knowledge, it would be probably the castle or wherever these vampires are at.
Would I have seen anything like that while I
Now-
was surveying the area, Dustin?
You didn't really inspect that area.
Okay. Maybe we can get a vantage point from the top of this tower.
Sounds good.
Are there any stairs?
Yeah, there
I
are.
say, where we're going, we don't need stairs. I begin just walking up the side of the tower.
I'll scale the tower with my echo if I need to, swapping places with it and repositioning it as we go.
I'll just walk up the side.
How are you doing on HP, Drakova? I mean that's meta as fuck.
I'm doing okay.
Alright.
Yeah, if any of you wants to make a religion check, you can.
Sure.
By the way.
Oh my god.
Toto, you would probably realize what that creature was, just due to your nature of fiendish research. That is a creature called a Bodak. It is an undead remains of someone who revered Orcus, the god of undeath.
Orcus.
Patron archdevil. Sorry, not devil. Demon of undeath, I should say.
That creature back there, I read about them before when I was studying infernals and demons. It's a Bodak. It's what remains from somebody who used to worship Orcus, the patron archdemon of undeath.
What was it trying to do to me?
It looked like it was trying to kill you. Damn near succeeded.
Well, what?
You better thank Johannes.
Well, I don't know if it could. I don't know if it could turn me undead due to the fact I already am undead. I like kind of look at my heart and not beating.
You still have a life for it to take.
I'm considered undead. Out of curiosity, Dusty, yeah, is that what it was trying to do? Turn me into undead or no? Because would that have worked if I already was undead?
It wasn't really trying to turn you into an undead.
Okay, because I know some undead creatures they're like if you're reduced to 0 hit points this way, you become an undead creature. But it's like, well, if you're already undead.
No, it's just a
Well, I was just trying to.
this
kill me.
creature is one of annihilation. Sometimes they're called Hierophants of Annihilation.
Hierophant Green.
That.
It can, however, turn you into a Bodak with its gaze. I should say.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Which you still would have been an undead, but it would have changed you physically, marred you in the visage of Orcus himself.
Could have turned into one of them.
I'm good on that.
But ugly creatures they are.
Yeah, you wanna see what they look like?
One of us. One of us.
Part of the crew, part of the ship.
Part of the crew, part of the ship. Yeah, that's a Bodak.
Oh my.
I'm not
Looks
seeing
like
any Bodak.
Penny. This is the D&D chat.
Ew.
Mm-hmm.
Shambling.
Fast as fuck, boy.
Fast as fuck, boy.
Anyways.
We'll climb to the top of the tower.
Yeah.
What do we see?
As you begin to climb up to the top of the tower, you see evidence of some grandiose fight. The room which you landed in was not the only room in which something happened. Whatever massive explosion rocked that observatory is replicated up the entirety of the staircase. Many parts you have to partially jump and leap, which is not too difficult to do, as sections of whole staircase are just obliterated. At one point, you can see what looks to be a hand that has been severed by an axe through the middle of it, and through, so there's like an axe through the hand, stuck into the wall, and then it was severed from the wall itself. And you can see that just sitting there on the wall. Strangely, throughout your entire time traversing the tower, there are no bodies.
What do you think happened here?
Nothing good.
Combat, but no bodies. Probably raised to be undead, no?
Just have to look out for something.
Maybe the vampires have something to do with the cult. Some kind of worship towards that archdemon. Maybe they made the Bodaks. Maybe they are the Bodaks.
I have no clue. All I know is that if they didn't take kindly to me, they probably don't take kindly to the rest of the vampires. So it'd be a safe bet to imagine that they're probably somewhere held up, a lot more defendable.
My weapon will take kindly to them. I know that.
The Bodaks or the vampires?
Depends on the temperament of the vampires.
Well, I'm not looking to jump straight into combat. Hopefully.
You're taking the lead on this
Hopefully
one.
Hopefully they'll be more understanding than the Bodaks.
Just give us a signal if you want us to start attacking. And let me heal you some more before we head into combat again. Just in case.
Understanding about what? You haven't really told us why we're here.
You see, well, Emperor Prize as well has a reason to be here, but I don't know if he remembers it.
34 more HP.
What's the reason? I forgot.
I will take it. Remember how, like, Jet and him were, like, approached by that one dude and was like, hey, stop this vampire queen from getting that, that magic item, that vestige?
This is Jake talking. I know exactly what you're talking about. That was when we were at the Wendigo, right?
Yeah, it was like in-game
Oh,
probably like a
while ago.
couple weeks ago. It was probably about a month ago in-game.
Outside
In real life though, a few months ago. But yeah. And the reason why Drakova is interested and he wants to learn more about vampirism. You see, during my journey away, while I was back in Falkovnia, I traveled to a few different realms and have a better understanding of the affliction that I currently face. I'm not certain what bloodline I'm from, but apparently there are different bloodlines that can affect what abilities you gain as a vampire. So, I'd like to find out
It's similar to the
bloodline is
packs.
here and most likely probably something similar to what you dealt with.
I understand. Well, let's take a look, see if we can find them. 25 for perception, Dustin.
25 for perception.
Yep, top of the tower, surveying, looking for castles, signs of life.
Okay. As you reach the top of the tower, you begin to hear a voice. Just calmly and quietly speaking out. Oh, the agony. I can't bear to see it any longer. Poor lost
Who's-
souls.
I'll look at Drakova.
I'll look at him. I'm assuming that wasn't you.
No. Was that in our heads or around us somewhere?
You heard it echoing from up the stairs.
I'll take the lead. I'll head up the
I'll be
stairs.
close behind.
Okay. You rush up the stairs, and there, you can see an individual currently standing on the top of the tower, looking out over the grand city. They are ethereal, cast in these light bluish colors. You can see mage robes disappear at right about like the waist, and you don't see any legs. They are just the floating upper half of a torso. You can see one arm is there but missing a hand, and you can see there just this a beautiful elven man just looking out over the city.
I look at like Toto and I say, kind of whisper to him, doesn't quite look so human.
I'll say back in telepathy. Not at all. Quite the view, isn't it?
You see the head fully spins 360 around, the body not moving. Why have you come to my tower? You already have my body. Do you need my soul as well?
I'll look at Drakova.
I'm not so certain who you think we are. I don't know anything about your body or your soul, but we are currently seeking refuge here for the moment, looking to try to meet people.
Why do you come to me then? Haven't I lost enough?
Who took it from you?
Damned Emperor. 3 Death Knights it took to bring me down.
Can I do a history check on Death Knight?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can Drakova do a history check on Death Knight?
Sure.
Would Drakova by chance have advantage due to the fact that he fought so many undead?
From 7 pennies.
I'd say yes.
19.
Someone do a 10 penny history check because he's so cool.
We got a 19.
19. Death Knights are some of the strongest undead around. Clad in full armor, they are typically grand knights and paladins who forsake their oaths to become undead themselves. In the Emperor's bloody coup of Bana, it is said that he sent many of these Death Knights around to kill and then raise the strongest of his society to become undead themselves.
Well, if it took 3 Death Knights to take you down, then you must have been rather strong of an individual.
Not strong enough. He took everything.
Unfortunately.
Understandable.
Took my mind, my body, and partially my soul.
Are they still here?
The knights, of course. And others in their
In-
wake.
Do you know where?
Just looks out over the city. Points to one section of the city where you can see massive manor houses and abodes.
I'll give Jakova a nod.
Well, we may be able to help you out. Are you, do they have your body?
I believe my body somewhere is there, yes.
Well, if we're able to get it and bring it back, would you be able to finally go to rest?
Yes. I could finally stop watching these poor souls in their endless dance of undeath.
Well, it's a lead.
Alright.
Lead is lead.
I'll bring out a pretzel. Let's go, gentlemen.
Sounds good.
After you.
I will bring out my my bat.
Hope to see you again, Spirit. And let's
What
fly
is your
off.
name? Before we leave, I ask, what is your name?
Me?
Aye.
You may call me Win.
Alright, well. I hope to put your body to rest when.
So kind. Careful. These souls are tormented, trapped. And whatever you do, beware the Nightwalker.
Who is that?
It will destroy all life in its path. Just avoid it.
Aye.
You see the head twists around. The specter goes once more to staring out over the entirety of the city. Oh, you poor soul. If you want to know how to spell his name, it's W-Y-N.
Okay.
Win.
As we walk away, I kind of nudge Jakova and I say, you know, I wish we had a better description than the man who walks at night, Nightwalker.
Alright, well, that's how it goes, sir.
Yes, yes, I understand. Mysterious and all.
Yes, there used to be an individual I knew quite like this. His name was Treffer. I wish you could have met him, Emperor Braz.
What happened to Treffer?
Something not so pleasant. Probably something similar to what happened to that ghost, too.
That poor soul.
Aye.
Never mind that you watched him get fucking melted by a Mind Flayer dragon.
Exactly. Poor Treffer.
Absolutely shredded by a Mind Flayer dragon. Stood no chance.
Yeah. So, where are we heading next?
I suppose, should we head to the manor houses or continue looking for the vampires?
Manor houses are a lead. Where the strongest undead are is probably where the vampires are. I can't imagine they don't coexist in the city.
Toto, how insightful of you. I agree.
I need to take a shit, by the way. I'll be back.
Well,
hear
I
that
suppose,
stream?
we'll head over there.
Connor's gonna take a shit.
Yep.
All right. I guess we'll head over there. As we head over there, while we're flying above, I'm assuming we'll all probably be looking out for Death Knights or other possible strong undead.
Okay. As you go and fly over, go ahead and make me perception checks, everyone.
Nate, can you roll mine?
Also, are you attempting to stealth your way across the city, or are you just
Well,
flying?
we're flying, but I don't think we're trying to be loud while we're flying. I think we're trying to be quietly flying. I'm also going to talk to my my bat, because it has echolocation, and see if it can hear or like see using that where this thing is. Alright, I'm gonna roll Emperor prizes. Perception. $23 for Emperor prize for Drakova.
Fuck yeah.
We have a 6. Hell yeah. 23 for Emperor prize. Should I roll Totos as well?
If you wish.
Did you
Yeah, roll
roll
his. Fuck it.
What about Jared? Did he roll his?
Nate's rolling for the fucking team.
17 for Toto. I guess if Jared's not gonna roll his, I'm gonna roll for him. Jared got a nat 26, baby.
Aw, shit.
Nice.
Me and Johannes got a 6. Everyone else rolled very good.
Mm-hmm. You take off from the wizard tower and begin to fly kind of across the cityscape. The large manors are built along the into mountains that kind of buttress up against the east side of the city of Bana. There, they are fairly close to the actual main palace of the Emperor of Bana, but are far enough away to be their own little separate areas with beautiful vegetation and trees, or at least they once had those things. Now they are shells of their former selves. I will say, with the 23 and the 26, for perception, a few things are noticed as you fly throughout the cityscape. One such thing that is noticed is almost completely on the opposite side of the city. You do see something. At first, it's hard to realize what it is until you see it bypasses up what looks to be some sort of like small residential tower, like an apartment complex or something, across the city, maybe about a 2-hour walk away. But you see like mists and shadows climbing up the edge of the building, standing probably 25 feet tall, made of jet black ebony. It is shadow and shade, and immediately you all realize, oh, so that's probably the Nightwalker, as it climbs up the side of this building
Probably a Nightwalker.
with these long fingertips, and you see its head turns on a swivel as it looks out over the city.
I'm back.
I'm going to nudge Sir Drakova and say, I don't think we need the description anymore.
I think that is the Nightwalker. If I had to put my finger on it,
Let's fight him.
I look over at Toto and say, "Beware the Nightwalker."
I also look over at him and be like, beware the Nightwalker. He walks
I'm
at
aware
night.
of the Nightwalker. I see him walking, but it's not
No,
night.
beware.
In but an instant, you watch as it looks out over the city. You watch it leaps off the building and then soars through the air 10, 20, 30, 40 feet and then keeps going, and you realize, oh, it's flying.
Oh,
Oh,
it's the Night Flyer.
oh, that's not good.
You
He's
watch
not walking.
The Night Flyer.
it
That's a Stephen King movie, right?
soon lands on another small apartment complex 300 feet away, turns and begins to climb around the edge of that, and until it disappears from view. Another thing noticed, especially by Tenpenny and Emperor Prize again, is an additional movement throughout the cityscape. There is a countless buzz of movement as you just note a swarming of ants almost in every zombie, every undead that just makes its way through the city. And you realize it's been 700 years. The fact that there are still zombies, that there are still this many undead in the city, you realize why no one has cleared it. It's because there's millions of people here. You don't know how this many undead got within this space, within this city, but there is an exorbitant amount of them. This is a city of undead.
Well, that's oh my goodness.
Something
Yeah.
tells me the Night Walker's to blame for that one.
Additionally, you also see movement
And
coming
Walkers.
from the palace. As you fly by, Tenpenny, you watch and are looking out, and you look towards the palace, and you see strange misty clouds quickly moving inside the palace structure, away from the outer walls. It's then that you see what looks to be small bats are currently sitting on the edges of some of the walls as well, watching as you fly past.
Is Tenpenny here?
Jacoba, is it true that some of your vampire bloodlines can turn into bats?
Yes, actually, when I encountered, during my time, traveling through the different realms near Falcovnia, there was one bloodline I encountered that I know for a fact could turn into mist and bats, as well as rats and wolves.
Test.
I hear a test.
Hey, two
Did you
tests.
hear me? Am I clear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can hear
Okay.
you now.
Basically, I'll just be warning everyone of what lies ahead, and I mean, you guys already got to kind of catch on to that. But I'd also be like, those are definitely vampires.
You
I'll
think
just
they're
say we should
vampires.
treat every animal that they can transform into as a agent or spy, at the very least, if not a vampire itself.
Do you really think animals will be living in this area?
Valid
Maybe
point.
unliving.
Yeah, unliving. I mean, I can use detect magic and like spot off everything if that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
You guys want to play the
Yep.
safe route and do that?
Yeah, not a bad idea.
Alright, we'll play the safe route.
Make your
just to detect everything. And I'll cast detect magic, which is 10 minutes. Someone's also got to use my character sheet because I'm not at my computer. I might actually be doing the lawn right now.
I can roll for you.
Okay, you do it for me then. Alright, also, Tenpenny can help out with any history, insight, all those checks.
Aye. So Tenpenny uses detect magic.
Sure.
Detect magic. This city is radiating necrotic energy.
Turn creating necrotic energy.
There is also an aspect of abjuration almost on the air as well. It's almost as if the atmosphere is protective in nature somehow.
Makes sense. Regarding Dracova's feeling of being in the city.
Mm-hmm. Being in the sun as well.
Alright. Well, what say you? Do we pursue the Death Knights right now, or do we pursue the castle?
Castle.
I will say my
Castle.
vote
Priority.
is not.
I'd say the castle.
I just say my vote is... Okay, then I guess we'll go to the castle. My vote was not the Night Flyer, that's all I say.
The Night Flyer.
That dude looks questionable at best. And deadly at worst.
All right, we're heading to the city. Let's go. Or we're heading to the castle. Let's go.
Yep. I'm sure
So-
Dustin's just setting it up.
Yeah. You said you're going to the castle instead of the
Yep.
manors?
Yep. Well, no, not the cat. We're going where the bats were. We're going where the bats were.
Okay, that's at the castle. That's at the
It's-
palace.
Yeah. Yeah, we were flying towards that. yes.
Let me be clear.
Well, let me be clear. Don't get
Maybe
it
you'll
twisted.
take.
Okay. You suddenly turn off of your prior path and turn towards the palace structure. Are you just landing on the outer edges of it?
I guess, yeah, we'll fly around it and observe.
Anywhere in the space that's also kind of secluded.
The palace is built, like I said, into mountains here. There is this giant carving up peak, and then the castle the palace is carved into it and descends downwards. The outer section is this massive courtyard and wall that kind of acts as the main entrance point to this almost like massive cave palace that has been crafted here. There are towers that do almost extend out of the unshaped rock of the cliffside that extends above the entrance. And you realize you would have to land in order to get further within the palace structure. There's no... At your mount's heights, there's no flying in here.
Let's do it. I put pretzel away.
You all land, stow your mounts.
Where does Alexandra's mount go?
Into the fly.
An ebony,
Oh, nice,
ebony
nice.
statue. Well, it's
Yeah.
it's no longer a fly now. It's a bat. It looks like a Stygian bat.
Oh, I missed that. Nice. Okay.
Mhm.
But yes, it is indeed an ebony bat.
Hey, real quick, what's the city called that we're going to? The city of the undead,
Already in it.
We're in the ruins of Bana.
ruins of Vana. Okay,
Bana.
I'm just trying to get caught up real quick in the lol.
Yep.
Ghana.
Yes, this
Yana?
used to be the capital.
Bana.
Ghana.
No, B8. So
Ghana.
So Bravo Alpha, November Alpha.
Ah, Brana.
Any Laurel?
But the lore of it, real quick, to give you the brief understanding. This was a former capital of an empire, and then as they were collapsing, the evil king turned the entire city into like undead.
Yep.
He said, "Fuck it. If I can't win, everybody loses."
Basically, yes.
Basically, and now vampires happen to allegedly, through the rumor, we actually gained this information from Avant-Garde, is that vampires have been hiding here because the undead, it's a pretty safe spot for them to hide.
Yeah. So is there a specific vampire we're going after, or
So
is
there
it
was
just...
this queen. So there was this queen chick that we were told about, that actually you and Jet Neptune were told about while they were visiting Windigoon, by this questionable vampire-looking guy that also might have been evil, basically saying that we should not let her get something because she's evil or something like that. But like, so that's also like kind of like a side goal. But Jet's not here, so you would just be the one that would know about this. I mean, I don't know if you told the rest of the party as well.
I would have said it idly while we were flying and searching into the city. I would have filled in about the visage then.
Yeah, that she might be. Well, we don't know though. But like, apparently that guy who also might have been evil was saying that they didn't want her to get it. So it's still kind of questionable. Who's really the evil person in here? Like, I mean, like,
No,
was
now
it-
that you think about it,
Either way, the visage would be better in our hands, probably.
now that you like put it out in the open, it does seem like since the undead attacked Nate specifically, or not specifically, like as a whole, like it didn't ignore him. That can also mean that the vampires in there would also be attacked as well. But
Yeah,
that
that's-
means that
that's
from the
what-
way that this is, the way that this castle is set up, it's like, as you were saying, it's almost like a natural defense. But
Yeah.
at the same time, depending on the scenario, depending on how powerful they are, they also could be trapped here. Like this might, like it does help them and it does secure them, but like who's to say that they can leave whenever?
Yeah, double-edged sword, right?
Yeah.
A gilded
That's the
prism.
thing as well.
Like, perhaps maybe they're
Drakova would have explained this to all, like, he, as soon as he would have felt it. But
Yeah.
basically,
They could have also just
the
attacked
city-
because you were a separate bloodline.
Well, I will say the city, I can tell you for a fact, is advantageous, at least to vampires, in the sense that the sun does not affect me in the city.
Oh.
Like so the vampires, there's a good possibility that they also, the undead, don't, they're vampires either, and they're just hiding out here though because that's a natural like defense for them. And I mean, when you get to choose between, hey, would I rather fight? I can avoid most undead, but during the daytime, I really can't avoid the sun.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So, and especially if they have this castle, that's a pretty good natural defense. My interpretation, I'm assuming now, is that the vampires probably are also accosted by the undead, but they're probably a lot better and not as dumb as I was for just walking out in the middle of the street.
Yeah, and it's probably still better than dealing with humans and pitchforks and shit.
Yeah, at least undead are usually kind of dumb. Vampire or not, humans, living creatures though. That's where you got to worry about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
Right.
Well, I
Okay.
suppose we shall head inside the castle.
Yeah. What's everyone's passive perceptions?
And
15?
17.
I said 17.
Dracova's is 10. I think Tin is like 17 though as well.
it's also for you.
Yeah, Tin is 17 as well.
Okay. You all begin to walk deeper into the structure. The silence here. The rest of the city had this aura of just ambient noise. Zombies tend to growl and grunt and create weird noises consistently. As you get further and
Aggressions.
further, yeah, it is silent. Strangely so. You begin to walk down the main pathway, and you begin to come upon a courtyard of sorts. The The ceiling here is very low, but there seems to be some like tower structures that give like a kind of an upper floor view, essentially creating like arrow slits to fire down upon charging enemies, or to added defense into the space.
I've seen this one before. We have
Um,
to solve a puzzle. This entrance to the Soul Cairn is going to be nearby.
no, you do see,
Good luck.
however, a massive tree set within
Exactly
a
as I'm
fresh
saying, dude.
dirt path. It is. Let me find it real fast. Should be here. Okay. Okay, so you see this massive, large tree kind of just sitting there quietly in a fresh-made, almost gardened path. And you can see, looks to be footsteps, muddy and dirty, set on individual, like, stepstones, essentially, leading up to a space where you can see... almost as if a place for people to kneel and worship this tree.
Yes, tree gods.
Those damn Argonians are at it again.
Is there any investigation checks that could be made?
Yeah, if you want to investigate the tree, go ahead.
What about a nature check?
Nature would also work. Investigation or nature. It'll give you different results, probably. There it is.
And my docent do an investigation while I do a nature check.
Sure.
Alright, Nate, can you roll a d20 with a +7 for the docent? And then can you roll my investigate or my nature as well?
So D20 with a +7. Well,
Yep,
I
that's
got a
for
2,
investigation.
So
Ooh.
that's so a 9 for investigation. Yeah.
Good.
Well, a weak one. And then you said your nature check.
Yeah.
Nature. That one was a 24 though.
I recognize something after killing that one fucking plant in the fucking ruins of Midas.
This
Got familiar with
tree,
some botany.
yeah. This tree radiates magic. Just FYI. And you recognize this as an ordeal tree.
What was that?
This is an
I'll check that
ordeal
out.
tree. This is a legendary tree that can grant petitioners power and influence in the world.
I turned to the party and said, "This, my friends, is pretty much a tree of politicians." And I describe actually what it is and why it's probably worshipped in this area, especially in the castle, considering that it, influence and power.
But that makes a lot of sense.
As you say that, you hear wood creak, and you see the tree turns to look at you.
I didn't know it could do that, however.
Oh, language.
Do any of you
What
speak
about that one? Did
Sylvan?
you know it could do that?
Sylvan? Probably Jared, I would assume.
Let me see, actually. I thought.
Is what's Sylvan defined?
look at it.
Sylvan Elvish?
No.
It's Fey.
My thing, because I think that the docent lets me learn like 7 languages or whatever. So I don't know if I have all of them.
Did you put it down?
Yeah, I'm saying, can somebody check for me, please? I'm not at my
Oh,
laptop or
Yeah, I'll
anything.
check.
okay.
Yeah, no. Let's see.
Because I think because Jared has Cinefex, I know he knows Abyssal, Undercommon, and I thought there was another one, but other than that, if like Sylvan's like an Elvish thing.
Yeah, like Elder Elvish.
Common, Draconic, Undercommon, Dwarvish, Giant, and Abyssal is Emperor Prize.
How many is that?
Okay.
6.
Okay, so can I learn the Sylvan then? Because I
Yeah.
think that's how I've been doing it, is where I can just like tell them, hey,
Oh,
you wanna learn it?
Yeah, wasn't it like if you were exposed to it? I think that's what.
yeah,
It is. Okay, so you
He's got Sylvan.
let's learn some Sylvan, baby.
Yeah, fuck it.
That should be useful.
Be nice.
okay.
Get some influence on the land.
As you hear this voice, the docent asks, Emperor Price, sir, do you wish me to translate?
You guys hear me?
What'd you say? Hello?
Hello? Can you talking now, Q? 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 Hello?
Q just left. I don't know why no one's talking.
Oh,
I'm
I
assuming-
was
can
yeah.
you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, I was waiting on
Okay.
Q. So Q, you there?
I'm assuming.
Sorry, my headset cut out right after I said let's go or some shit.
Oh, you're fine. So you hear
Okay,
your docent ask, Emperor Price, sir, do you wish me to translate?
Yes, please.
Zren darostimur darinda. You there, prize of the Empire.
Oh,
Come,
is it?
petition yourself to me. I can grant you your wildest dreams.
Can I make an insight check on this? I mean, obviously we're in a very bad land, right? So probably
Yes.
not a good tree. But I want to see if like
Yeah, there might be some
my
money
character
in
would
there,
actually
no?
like be influenced by it or not. What should I roll for
Make
that?
an insight check
Nate, Nate?
with advantage because you know what
Yeah,
this
I
tree
can.
is.
I'm pulling it up. I think I just have to roll it twice, but here I'm gonna roll insight.
Here, I'll just set it to advantage.
What does his docent do it? I thought his docent has
It's only investigation, not insight.
Okay, you started. Okay, yeah. 16.
Yeah, I set it to advantage. Yep.
Yeah, 16.
16.
Oh, okay, I didn't realize. My bad.
You know the nature of the old ordeal tree. It is comfortable. Like, you get the sense that it is not lying to you. It would probably give you assistance. One thing you do know about the ordeal tree is that it only offers... It will offer this deal to many people, but if you have the capacity to do evil deeds, it is less likely to actually just murder you and eat you.
I'd say send
So
it.
because
I
you're
took over
evil,
Europe.
it's more likely to fucking team up with you.
It's because you have the capacity to do evil.
Ah. Okay.
Yeah, if there's darkness in your soul and you will do evil, or you could,
It'll team up with you.
it'll just fucking eat you.
Otherwise, it would
Alright,
it would bring you forward
Wait.
and consume you.
Nate, can you do me a favor?
Wait. It'll eat
I'm
you.
gonna make a decision off of a
Give me-
roll
give me
here.
1 second. Sorry, Marcus. Okay.
Hey, you want to see what the
Can
tree?
you roll me?
Here's what the tree looks like, by the way.
That's money. Oh, that's all
It is
awesome.
Oh,
dope.
so that looks like an eating tree.
Nate, can you roll me a history check for my character, please?
Yep.
19.
19.
Okay. I am going to go with it, but with the insight of some old tales. Something combined with, like, Sir Gawain's tale with the fucking, the Green Knight and the Giving Tree. And I'm gonna basically try to take what I can from this without losing myself.
Well, just so you know,
I'm gonna roll the dice on it.
It's
just
not
so you know,
losing yourself.
to do this, you have to bind yourself to the ordeal tree for 7 days.
Oh,
Oh,
You have to be
Yeah,
a
we don't really have that
practitioner
time.
for a very long
yeah,
time.
we kind of don't have that time right now.
Do we not have that time?
I mean, we're
Yeah.
doing something
I
right
will
now.
also-
maybe
I will say-
after.
As you guys are sitting here talking about this, you realize that a lot of this dirt is very fresh, and upon looking at it, it seems as if the people who have been chaining themselves and petitioning themselves to the tree have most likely been ground into fertilizer in the soil. Like, you see, like, an arm partially petrified sticking out of the ground at certain spots.
Ah,
Like,
so you could say
I'm-
that
those
more
are
of
those are the people who fail the petitioning process.
I'm going to
But if
speak
we get
his
it,
children to
though, it'll be
to the
really
tree.
good.
You're gonna what?
and what I wanted to translate to is basically grant me and my party safe passage through this city, and when our duty is done, I shall partition myself to you.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Nathaniel,
He did it in
please.
Sylvan. He did say it in Sylvan.
Yeah.
Persuasion.
I think that's why it's an advantage.
Nat 25, baby.
20! Sorry.
Oh yeah, baby.
You watch as the entirety of the tree rises to a gargantuan size. It stands 40 feet tall, its boughs and limbs stretching, reaching out. You see vines beginning to reach up out of the ground. And you see some of these heavy branches soon thud into the ground around it, beating this almost rhythmic melody. Just like a solid doom, 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 doom. The tree rattles and shakes, and you hear this like a snarl come from the tree itself.
That's awesome.
And then suddenly, like a blast of movement, you turn as you realize this entire time you were being snuck up upon. As you watch as rushing from the shadows around you, about 50 varying sized creatures. 20 are these small, thin creatures made of twigs with sharp thorns that stick out of their woody hides. The other ones are made of vines, tall and bulky, charging in. They all stop just mere 10 feet from all of you.
Nice.
Drakova, you recognize twig blights and vine blights when you've seen them.
Wild empathy.
I do. I wouldn't know a thing about those. It was this nasty cult back in the lands of Barovia.
Well, here you see a small army of them dash up towards you. And with a moment, you hear a voice. So, the tree's been friendly with you, eh?
Well, look where the voice coming from.
You don't see it.
Say.
I'll
suppose
say
you'd say that.
hi.
You come as friends or as foes?
Friends to
We're
some.
not here to
Foes
fight.
to
Is
few.
what you're asking.
Passing through for most.
Huh. Wow.
And as I say friends to few, I'm going to look at the tree when I say it.
You certainly have some bravery, flying in here like that.
You could argue stupidity.
Funny how often those two coincide.
I smile at Emperor Prize and laugh.
Your friend's very right.
And who might you be, good sir?
I'm one of the guards. I watched you fly in here. The Queen already knows you're here. State your exact reasoning. And maybe you can see her.
I'm here for information.
About what, sir?
I'm gonna mute for a sec.
I'm gonna drop my visage and like show kind of my vampiric form and say about vampirism.
Ah. I see. You hear heavy footfalls. And you watch as in one of those like essentially like watchtower arrow slit areas that overlooks this kind of courtyard with the tree, stepping out, you see a tall individual standing about 7 feet tall. Beautiful greenish blue scales adorn their visage, and 2 razor sharp teeth mount at the end of a large scaled snout, as you see a vampiric dragonborn standing before you.
Yo, haven't encountered many of them yet.
Well, you made it here. And if you have questions about vampirism, I guess you're free to come in. Bold, I will say. Begins to walk down the steps towards all of you. You hear extra movement, and you can see that many of these vampires were in bat form or mist form, just chilling out around you. And you see a variety of vampires. You see bugbears. You see kobolds and goblins and elves and humans, a variety of peoples. But probably a good 12 or so different vampires kind of step up to greet you. I'll take you
I've
in.
never met so many vampires in one place.
There's a lot more of us where that came from. I'll bring you in to see the Queen, if you all can behave yourselves. Don't try anything.
Well, of course.
She's stronger than any of you.
I would not doubt that.
Come, step away from her, pet. And he kind of attempts to pull you further from the tree.
Bet. Start heading up there.
Yeah. You begin to follow this dragonborn vampire, correct?
Is it like a long walk? Are we walking for like a little while?
Yeah.
Back.
While we're walking, I want to ask about him. I want to say, what is your name?
My name?
Aye.
You can call me Kroldan.
Well, Dan, how long have you been a vampire for?
I'm on my 130th.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Sadly, I wish I could say I was the first, but we've been here for a long time.
Really? How long?
Blood Empress came here, I think just 50 years after the champions left it. So close to 700.
And has this been where most vampires have been living?
Most of the good ones.
Hmm.
We have some friends in other places, but those are loners. People who don't want to listen, want to set up their own grand covens of vampirism.
I see. Well, we heard about this place through mutual associates, adventurers like us.
Avant-garde.
Aye. You would know them?
I saw them. They were caught by the cook.
Hmm.
At least we were shot by a guard.
Well, they were deeper in the facility than we ever expected.
I do not want to hear that. I'm tired as avant-garde. Act like they're so good.
They were nice.
Yes, everyone on this continent seems to hold them with such regard.
Why are you not from this continent?
No, not originally.
Well, I bet the people on your home continent hold you with high regard.
I'd like to hope.
They helped the queen with a couple tasks. They gave her a gift
At
when
least our
they
reach
first
does.
entered. Hopefully you have a gift enough for her.
I look over at the rest of the guys like, yeah, we got something like that.
We were supposed to bring a gift?
That'd be a nice thing to do. She is an empress.
An empress.
I suppose
I shoot a bro look over to Drakova when I say empress. And I think he knows what I'm implying. An empress and an emperor should get to know each other.
It sounds like someone's trying to steal your girl, man. You better do something about it.
I look over at Emperor Pride, lack of blood, and I say, I don't know if you quite have what she's looking for, but...
I'm a machine. I can be whatever she needs. I probably would not have brought it with me, so never mind. Unless,
What?
I don't know, maybe presumptuously I would have fucking asked Toto to carry my old armor in his Vader's pocket. The living armor that takes blood. Maybe that would be a good gift.
It just so happens we have a gem that's worth 2,500,000 gold.
I have something.
Well, what's gold to somebody who can live centuries? They can amass any amount of wealth they want. Living armor, though, that takes blood seems fitting to a vampire.
I'm talking about like the piece of the core that we took from the fucking giant robot back in the giant area.
You will leave Junior's heart alone.
Not that one, you fucking idiot. I'm talking about the fire giant.
Oh.
You fucking idiot!
You
It's
fool!
like another one of Junior's hearts. I mean, it's not actually that, like... I guess we do have a second heart.
So, can we retroactively say, though, that Toto is carrying in Vader's pocket my old armor?
Well, I also have some stuff that I think would be convenient for vampires.
So yeah, I think maybe, like, everybody can present a small token or something like that. Even if, like, you know, I hand off something to somebody else to use as their token, kind of thing. Like, doesn't have to be
Yeah,
something
we'll probably
exclusive
do
to y'all.
something.
But
Yeah,
I'm gonna offer my living
definitely.
armor.
My fist for her face. What?
Please, we don't need another counterspell incident.
Okay.
In there, I'm gonna be like, what would have happened if I threw a punch at the Jake moment.
As you make your way further and further into the encampment, you realize that this is not just a small little collection of vampires. The entirety of the palace is probably preoccupied with a couple hundred different vampires, just based on the amount that you see walking in. Many of the vampires give you a great amount of space. There is, like I said, a great variety of them. A lot of them don't seem that strong. You see a lot of like really young-looking vampires in like a couple of vampire kobolds, but you do see like old elves, older-looking humans that probably have seen their fair share of, at least a couple hundred years. There is a great variety here. There also is a great variety in these blights. They cover a lot of the positions here. And you start to realize that this is like an army of sorts that they have developed for themselves. Just masses of these soldiers. Eventually you reach what you can only presume to be the main throne room of the Empire of Bana. Massive gilded hall with marble flooring, beautiful glass chandeliers made of the finest crystals, and a massive metal door that is opened for you by massive vine blights. Walking in, you can see a massive and beautiful underground chamber. This throne room is not entirely lit by natural means. You see great grand chandeliers ever present with beautiful, gorgeous, magical fire and light that fills this room with a strange but gorgeous glow. Sitting upon a grand throne with a bountiful feast table set before her is a beautiful human woman in a long flowing red dress, dark black hair, a curled toothed smile. Next to her are two ginormous shambling mounds that rest, almost sleeping, next to her. The room is covered in blights. From the walls to the ceilings, you can see twig blights standing hovering 40 feet up, perched on the chandeliers, waiting for anything to go wrong. And behind her, a massive, gorgeous, dark tree. You watch as the tree almost seems to bubble and boil for a moment, and you watch as a vine blight steps directly out of the tree itself, walks around the tree, looks towards the woman, and immediately bows to her. She smiles at that, and with a flick of her fingers, you watch as the vine blight stands and begins to walk out the room, past all of you, going to whatever position she seems to have mentally told it in her head. On her neck is a beautiful, gorgeous amulet with a ginormous green emerald that shines and radiates magic like you would not believe. Tenpenny understands. Yeah, I would say so. I'll allow it at least. Tenpenny, you realize the only reason you recognize magic like this is because this is a vestige of power, similar to your blade that you currently wield. And this one is stronger. This is a fully exalted magical vestige. She radiates power, magic, and influence.
I want it. I want her. I mean, mommy?
Nightmare.
I immediately recognize that she is definitely the tree's favorite. and I am disappointed in myself.
Yeah. The tree behind her is very different. It's similar in effect that it is a dark and dangerous evil tree, but the other one was more tied with fate and changing an ordeal. This one is if a tree could be vampiric in nature, this would be it.
Well, it looks like you still got a. I like Nudge Emperor Pride. It looks like you still got a shot with your tree.
Hell yeah!
Nightmare. I've heard so much about all of you. Come,
I'm gonna.
feast with me.
Well, I heard from on a different continent.
Like,
Kruldan,
You are.
you
Getting
can go.
fixed.
She waves him off. He bows. Yes, Empress. Smiles widely. You can see the massive, engorged fangs, and he turns and walks out of the room.
Can I do
Blights,
an insight check?
make an insight check. What are you looking for?
Insight check specifically for, I assume she does know of us to an extent. My insight is specifically for, she said, "Come feast with me." I want to know if we're the feast.
Make an insight check.
Okay. 20.
There is normal food, but it is also a very subtle threat. Not a plan by any means, but a threat. That if you try anything, or if you want to try anything, a feast she'll have, no matter what happens.
What kind of trying are we doing? I mean,
Got it. Okay. So just, like, stay in line, basically.
be on our best behavior.
Blights, chairs. You watch as these twig blights just creak up with these jagged, quick movements. And you see they pull out your chairs quickly and effectively as you are assigned seats around a large, beautiful, well-furbished table.
I will try and sit closest to the queen.
Yeah, I want to sit also.
And I'm guessing Drakova on the other side if possible.
Yeah,
I'm
each of
gonna
you
try
have,
sitting
each of you
farthest
can do
from the
that.
queen.
Was it?
I'm gonna sit farthest from the queen.
Okay, you sit on the opposite end of the table from her.
Opposite end.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
What's
totally.
the layout look like?
And if I'm asked why did I sit all the way over here, I'm gonna say something reeks.
Okay.
That's
What
fucked
does
up.
the layout of this room look like?
It is a massive chamber. The ceiling itself is probably about 60 feet. Chandeliers hang 20 feet down, making them 40 feet above the ground. There are blights on each of the chandeliers, 4 in general. There are about 20 blights to each wall. 10 appear to be twig blights on each, and then 10 appear to be vine blights. Next to the throne, which is right in front of the grand feast table that was almost... It doesn't entirely match. You get the sense that this table probably folds in and out, or like comes up from the ground and can be set in that way. There are 2 shambling mounds, and there are also 4 vine blights on either side. Behind that is the large, evil-looking tree that kind of hits like the back of the room where it kind of rounds out, and you can see probably like the main emperor's quarters are behind there. So this kind of room is like the beginning of where like the emperor's quarters within the structure probably start, and probably where she actually lives for most of the time.
Okay. I will sit close to 10.
Okay.
Oh yes. Good decision. I will protect you, my friend. Not really.
Where does Toto sit?
With you guys.
Yeah, well, like, which spot though?
I don't have a good mental
He's
picture.
sitting next to you and King, Emperor. What the fuck his name is?
Yeah, I'm about. Don't worry
Okay.
about it.
You all sit down.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. You watch as she uncrosses her legs from her throne, stands, and you hear the clacking of heels as she goes, and watch as one of these large vine blades just from a distance pulls her chair out. She softly sits down, and it is scooted in perfectly. You watch as four vine blades. Hold up 1 second.
She's quite elegant.
Very elegant, softly spoken. Sorry, it's needle blights that are up in the ceiling. It is. Yeah, needle blights are up in the ceiling. I haven't used blights in a long time.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the first monsters that we've ever faced, me and Connor, were twig blights.
Oh hell yeah!
I do not want to talk about that. Do not bring that up. I fucking hate you.
We love blights. I know Connor's faced blights a couple times actually. Me too.
Yeah, fuck blights and fuck you.
Blights are so awesome. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So, she calmly smiles as you see small, short twig blights begin to walk up and begin to uncover the meal set before you. It is an interesting sight, as it is a carved up corpse.
Oh,
My favorite.
Starting from closest to Jared, you get some looks like roasted feet. Next, people get like the calf muscles and like the thighs. There is a roasted rib in front of probably Drakova and Emperor Prize, and then the head of what you recognize is the vampire who told you about this, right in front of the queen.
Oh. Oh.
Oh,
Oh, Emperor Prize.
after you, sir.
She smiles, overlooking your reaction to seeing this sight, as you see the vampire who told you to kill her is already dead.
Oh,
Mm.
She looks looking you each in the eyes as she inspects all of you with a grinning smile.
I will say. Oh, the wrong voice.
I don't know what to tell.
Pass him the head over here.
You watch as one of these large blights grabs it and will begin to walk it over to you.
Okay.
So,
She looks at you with
Your
with
Majesty.
interest, Johannes, as the plate is set in front of you. What do you do?
Hey,
Yeah.
look at it, kind of examine it. I'll take a fork and knife, and I will kind of like. Is there any like actual good spot to like
It's
carve, or is it all
the
very
thing.
tough?
The thing is, it's not even cooked.
Ah. I will start cutting part of the ear off.
You hear like a stifled chuckle come from her direction as Drakova, you can start speaking.
Your Majesty, were you expecting that?
And it goes,
You were.
I was expecting you. I was wondering when you would finally show up. We've had his body prepared for a while now.
Well,
I know he
checks out.
came to you. Selman was a blight on our society.
Well, he didn't.
I
He didn't
appreciate
seem the most trustworthy about him.
I don't fault you for talking to him, though. I just wanted to make it known that I run a tight ship.
Understandable. I can respect that.
Thank you. And I wasn't very worried. Avant-Garde came in and returned my amulet fairly quickly, and I'm glad they did. They were the ones who carved up Summon. I probably could have, but why get my beautiful hands dirty?
Ah. Now I wonder how he knew of us, and why he sought us out.
Well, you did fight each other, didn't you?
I suppose we did fight Avant-Garde, you're not wrong.
I've heard you were the only ones
That
to
was
ever
just for
defeat
sport.
them.
This was a close matchup. I'm certain that,
Still,
it could have went either way,
it's very intriguing to me. They are nice. I
Well-
was worried when they first came here. They planned, well, they planned something different than what happened. But they gave me a gift that I could not refuse. And I let them live.
well, it is
Insight
a,
check. I want to insight check
shame.
that as I'm cutting the air. I'm sorry. I want to know if she's fucking lying. If she says I let them live, or if it was the other way around.
Make an insight check.
Sorry to interrupt. I just heard that, and I think that's full of shit.
3? Oh, she
I
let them.
keep cutting the ear.
Yeah, she let them live.
Yeah, even Avant-Garde, I'm not sure if they could handle a castle full of fucking Blight and a queen vampire and other vampires.
Yeah. I am,
But I'll say, intriguing. What could be such a gift?
What'd you say?
Sorry, Nate. I said intriguing. What could have been such a gift?
I lost something. She looks back.
Cat.
I'm somewhat of a gardener myself, and a prized possession of mine ran away from home. I sent agents out to find it a long time ago, and none of them were successful. Luckily, they apparently had it. They developed... Well, they had learned to develop kind of what I have learned about it. That using the seed of Golthias, you can, well, create blights that will work under your own will. And now I have more security in my position. The tree listens to me, after all. He's not going to get away again anytime soon.
makes sense, okay.
And what of the tree in the courtyard?
That's another side project. The ordeal tree. I heard that he wanted you to prostrate yourself for him. Is that something
would
you
use
really
it.
want?
You'll see that King Prize kind of looks inwardly for a second, and he says, "There is something I want, and I am hopeful that it can grant it."
You seem nice. Emperor Prize. I'll have you know. The tree will give you stuff. It will enhance you. But it will also curse you. If you're okay with doing evil deeds for the rest of your days, I would suggest it. Otherwise...
Drakova fully
Hey,
drinking some of the blood from
what-
the rib is like,
I'll
Oh, there
I'll
are
say-
goblets full of blood as well.
say,
Nice.
Your Majesty, what rulers haven't, in all earnest.
Fair enough.
It's all in the. It's better to be on top than the receiving end when ruling a kingdom.
Some evil deeds are too much. The tree is nice and helpful when I need it, but I'll be honest with you. I use it to cull those who wish for too much power. They go to the tree seeking greatness, and the tree eats them all the time.
Where do you think their folly lies?
Nova drinking some of the blood with like a mouthful of blood goes like, "We've been cursed before."
Their folly lies in the seek of power for power's sake. They are attempting to gain quick access to something they merely need to wait to get. Don't rush it. You'll find your power in time. I have. I've waited for everything I needed to come back to me. I gave away my heart.
I realize that I'm one of the few people at the table that has the luxury of time as well. Considering that I'm a Warforged, and I'm also thousands of years old.
Jerkova looks at him and is like, "Yeah, remember the time you guys left me in a fucking dimension for about almost 100 years? Yeah, don't think I forgot."
How tragic.
So I'm about to be classy, boys.
It was pretty good.
I got something I can flavor, or not flavor, but I'm gonna touch my foot on my plate, and I'm gonna use my spellbook's special thing and change it into a steak.
Transmute the raw food, raw meat.
I'm
Well,
trying. Yeah,
the foot is
I'm
cooked.
making-
The foot and like thighs, everything's roasted except for the head. Because
Gotcha.
she wanted the head to
But-
be visible so you knew who it was.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it a steak from a cow. So
Yeah. It just shifts and transforms into a cow steak. And you do see her glance upwards. And you get the sense she gives a slight like smile and like partial chuckle. And you get the sense that she's probably happy that you did that. Like she was just testing all of you. She was seeing which of you would actually go for the roasted vampire.
Damn, I must have passed the test then, bro. I'm still going for that ear.
Yeah.
Jerkova, no question, was, feasting, bro. He was
Yeah.
hungry.
Oh,
He had no interest. He actually the funniest part is actually he actually never met this guy either. When they actually met him, he still wasn't back yet.
yeah.
So Jerkova's actually kind of like fully
We
partially
didn't,
oblivious
we
to who
didn't-
this guy is.
Hey, also, we didn't leave you in that dimension. Your ass got bamfed to it, so
yeah,
Yeah,
man.
It's only like a month or two our time.
I'll be back.
yeah, like
Yeah,
to
well,
us, we
took
didn't
a
really
while for
leave
me.
you.
Yeah, but I got some time on my belt too.
Yeah.
I could do some stuff. But
If any of you wish to have regular meals, they are prepared for you in advance.
looking down at like what Jerkova's been eating, like is this not like normal? It's pretty tasty. And
Not
like then
entirely.
he's drinking a goblet of blood.
You see she herself has like a wine glass of like a very congealed familiar liquid, and she herself is just taking a soft little drink of it. We don't often entertain human guests, but it's not unforeseen.
Human's a strong word about our group.
I can see that. Some
Well,
of you
there's
might not be
something
as comfortable
I'm
as we are.
interested in.
What do you have?
You see, I'm doing research on different bloodlines of vampires, and I wanted to know some information. I assume that you would probably be the only person that would have this information of these leads. But to begin with the first question, Is this the only real settlement of vampires in this realm?
No, of course not. The most powerful? Yes, I would say so.
Interesting.
There is a friend of mine of sorts who I talk to every so often. She dwells in Weidenwald with her vampire spawn husband. There's
That's another question.
yes.
Vampire spawn. See, I think I might be in a peculiar situation that I think might interest you. You see, I never was a vampire spawn. I was born a Dampier. But as I progressed in age and power, I'm transforming slowly into a full-fledged vampire. I'm curious, what could spur this transformation and what could help me progress it, I suppose.
Interesting. You see the chair is pulled out slightly, and she stands with confidence, and she walks over to you. You feel your chair pulled back from the table as one of these, vine blades just wraps the vines around the table and just pulls it out slightly. She will walk up to you, Drakova, and just takes her hand and cups your chin slightly. And will turn your head to each side. She inspects your neck. And she kind of just begins to inspect you.
And no bite marks. Never had one of them.
No bite marks. Peculiar. Your transformation is incomplete. You've never had pure vampire blood, have you?
No.
She turns her head to look her dead in the eyes. Interesting. She releases your chin. And she sits on the table right in front of you. So, do you want to be a full vampire?
I suppose I would. Be better than the moment. I would like to get stronger and hone these abilities more.
Well, I could help turn you if you desired.
I will speak up and I'll say, what's the catch?
There's always a catch, isn't there?
Of course.
I would have to think on that for a moment. I have a lot of power now, and, well, interesting. What would you be willing to do for me?
Is there something you need done? Also, on a side note, do you know of 3 Death Knights in the city?
I do. They're fairly close.
Would you be opposed if we got rid of them?
Not at all. In fact, living in a city of undead is both a good and a bad thing. Most undead are not bothersome. They avoid us for the most part, as we are undead ourselves. But they can be aggressive at moments. The Death Knights are a particular case. They're very strong and not fun for us to deal with. There's also the case of the Nightwalker.
Yes, what is the backstory behind that?
Well, the Nightwalker itself is a creature from the negative plane. It is a plane of death. A true place of decay and horror. It is a true anathema to all living things. Yeah, there are some who tap into its fell power and use the negative energy for sinister ends. One of these individuals was the Emperor of Bana. He was drawn inside the plane, and, well, when one is drawn into the plane, something has to be shunted out of it. Taking his place came the Nightwalker, terrifying creature of undeath that devours all life it encounters, even our life, if it so gets the chance.
Well, if we are able to, I guess, take care of these, would that be something that you'd be interested in?
I would be very interested in that. In fact, if you could do so much more. The Nightwalker is the source of... It is the only true way for a person stuck and the negative plane to escape. You would have to lead the Nightwalker back into the negative plane, from whence it came, for that person to be shunted out. I have a great many questions and plans that I wanted to ask when I first came to this great city, but I found the Emperor
My God.
indisposed.
Sorry.
Jesus.
The Q is on the keyboard. I do have to go, boys.
I also have to get going.
Well, I'll give you a quest. Basically, Queen Darshi Ramoira, Blood Empress of Bana, is asking if you could lure the Nightwalker back into the negative plane so she can talk to the previous Emperor of Bana, the man who caused everything this city has become.
Hey, yo.
What do you guys think?
When she says lead,
I'm not opposed.
when she says
I
lead,
would-
like, would like a banishing spell be fine, or like, what do you mean
No.
by, like, what do you mean by lead?
No, we can get the details from her on how she thinks we should do it. But I'm up for the quest.
Let's do it.
Also, I'd like to ask her at some point about Warforged vampires and if they exist.
There are no Warforged vampires as of yet. But she is intrigued by the notion. You get the sense this is a person of research and interest. She's comfortable living a life of luxury that she has, but you also get the sense that she is an experimenter. She has experimented with many of these forsaken evil plants and is desiring more and more.
Then I'm going to suggest that perhaps if we do return, and I have made up my mind, perhaps I could too be granted with vampirism. To see how it works with somewhat of my liking.
Aye, I'd be interested in seeing the fully progressed mine.
We can see
But-
about that.
Let me
Would that make us...
consider it for some time
I
while
look
we
over at Emperor Prize, I
go on
say,
your quest.
would that make us brothers?
At least cousins, for sure.
So similar to my friend Trevor.
Well, we all love being slaves to this sanguine hunger. Let's see where it goes. And if you can complete this task, you'll have free range of the entirety of the city for us. Do you want me to get the previous emperor then?
Sounds like it could be good. I'll
Well
look
done.
over at Toto and the rest of them. Yeah, fuck it. What do y'all think?
Yep.
It'd be rude
I
to
love it when a
climb
plan
after
comes
such a
together.
great feast.
I'll be back. Talk amongst yourselves. She stands up from sitting on the table directly in front of you, Drakova, and begins to saunter away.
Love the word saunter.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of good words I've been using tonight. Anathema to all living things. Anathema is a great word.
It is.
You all wait around for but a few moments until you hear her heels clicking on the marbling floored, the marbled floors again, and walking past the ethereal, evil Gulthias tree, she is walking, holding the hand of an individual. You immediately see a grotesque sight. This individual is torn asunder almost. You can see a cracked open chest spilling out with dark necrotic energy. Their eyes are like exploded, part of the face engulfed in dark energy that's just slowly emanates upwards. Their mouth is agape and their jaw fractured. Currently sitting loose in about 3 or 4 inches off to the other side, just emanating out this dark smoke. You can see the arm that she is holding. It has been twisted and broken to such an extent that she is holding this strange, grotesque appendage, essentially. It's like an exorcist victim, and she's walking with them, holding their hand, and they're standing upright. It's literally like watching like The Exorcist when she's like walking down the stairs backwards, but like it's walking normally upright, but it looks still like that. It is grotesque, ripped open. Nightmare, I'd like to introduce you to the Emperor of Bana.
Holy shit.
As long as the Nightwalker enters his body, his soul should come back to him. All I request is that you deliver him back to me at that point. I have.
So
So we're going
so
to
many-
chaperone your friend here.
Oh, he won't run away.
So we
He's
just need to get that.
not entirely here. Whatever you do, don't touch the dark bits. It may attempt to pull you in, and then we'll have to deal with another Nightwalker. And just so you know, if you do kill it, there is no chance for them to come back.
Very well.
So
Negative
we need to
plane.
get the Nightwalker to go inside of his body.
Yes, his soul would return to him then. I would have tried it a long time ago, but how can I be bothered? I'm just a young, beautiful woman.
Would this Nightwalker want to go back into his body, or is this something we're gonna have to force it?
Oh, you will have to lure it. They desire, well, life. If one of you is living, looking directly at Tenpenny, then that's who should do it.
Hmm. Perfect.
It will attempt to devour your life. Don't let it. You've been thoroughly wonderful company, and I'm interested to see more of you.
It sounds like we have our plan going forward.
Wonderful.
Do you have perhaps a supply room and a small armory we could partake in to prepare for this Night Watcher? Perhaps somewhere we can create our plan, or perhaps even a spot we can lure it in.
I would prefer you not do it within the palace.
Very
If
well.
this doesn't work, I don't want to have to fix your mistakes.
And we shall keep it very far away.
Thank you. Otherwise, I have rooms available if you wish to stay the night.
Yes, I think that would
sounds
be
like a good plan.
very beneficial.
Wonderful. My blights can lead you towards your quarters.
All right. Long rest, baby.
It's been lovely
Sounds good.
meeting all of you. And I'm glad I didn't have to eat any of you.
I love the brief slip up there for a second.
The meat.
It's been a pleasure meeting you as well.
Alright.
See you all
The
soon.
pleasure is ours.
If you want
As
to
we
fall asleep and then come back for him, he'll just stare at you if you bring him to your room.
yes, that's a better. That makes sleeping easier.
Fair enough.
And as we walk away, I'm gonna throw my arm around Sergio, and I'm gonna say, "So, brothers." Kind of has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? Jokingly.
Good, it could.
Yeah.
I am thinking perhaps this is your shtick. I'm just more curious out of anything.
Well, I suppose we will just have to find out.
So,
Yes.
you've all met Queen Darshi Remoira. You all now have a task and a plan to make.
We'll scheme offline.
Yeah. Scheme offline, let's do that.
Saves us time next session.
Yep. I'm probably gonna end it there since we already. I know a lot of us have stuff to do later.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Nice little short 2-hour session.
Yeah.
Nothing too bad.
That's up for the next one. I like it.